No one wants to think about 30 as being old. Certainly it isn't by any stretch of the imagination. But when you turn 30, especially for men, some things can begin to change. So listen up, because we're very happy this morning to have Evan Bass on the show. He is the founder of the Chattanooga Men's Clinic. So nice to see you.
Thanks so much for having me.
So we're going to talk just kind of a variety of topics really, but all of it affects men.
Right.
Many of the terms we'll discuss, people know. Low testosterone is something frequently discussed now. ED is as well. Weight loss is as well. You're kind of seeing all of that within your clinic there.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So actually the decline of testosterone in men over the past 20 years has been dramatic. And but age is the number one factor.
Which is 30.
Which is 30. At about age 30, you start declining about 1% a year. But you know, I've been doing this for 15 years, and back in the day, it was like guys in their 50s, 60s, 70s that would come get treated for low testosterone. But now it's guys in their 30s and 40s, and even younger than that sometimes.
Well, and I would imagine just a 1% decline a year is going to be it's going to have its effects, but you might not really notice it because it's kind of subtle. So, do you find that when these men come to see you, if they're 38, they just say, "I don't feel like myself"? And there's some depression that goes along with it too?
Yeah, mood changes are a big one. Like decline in mental clarity. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys describe it as like walking through life in a fog. Mm-hmm. And but to your point, sometimes they don't even realize it. They'll come in for ED treatment, and then we'll check their testosterone, and then their testosterone's low, and they're like, I had no idea. And then we start treating them for it. And they're like, holy cow, my life's changed. Like,
right.
Everything's different now. And of course, you know, their wives and girlfriends are like, thank you so much.
Right.
He was.
Well, okay, so you had told me that that's kind of a new thing you're seeing now, where the women in their lives are joining them, or sometimes being the first ones to even make that initial outreach.
I can't tell you how many times it's the wife that's calling. It's like, I need to make an appointment for my husband.
Right.
He is just not the same. His energy level's down. Mm-hmm. He's grumpy. You know, he's just fallen asleep on the couch after dinner.
Right.
And then fast forward 6 months, if you know things go well, it's like, oh my gosh, he's up, he's mowing the lawn again, he's
right.
doing the dishes.
So what does it look like when somebody comes to you? Because I think the name is important too. It is, you focus just on men.
Sure.
And in this day and age, men don't have a lot of places to go where it's really just about them.
Right.
That's important.
I feel like it's a big deal. It's kind of like a man cave experience. You know,
yeah.
It's a bunch of guys just getting testosterone and treating their ED and all that stuff, and weight loss obviously goes along with a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. So if you have a lower testosterone level, does that tend to create a metabolic shift too, and that causes you to gain some weight?
Exactly. That's one of the classic symptoms of low T is the belly fat gain, and you know, they call it the dad bod, but a lot of times it's low testosterone.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people come to you, and I know you want to be very transparent with people, because for anything you do, then there can be side effects from it. But there are different ways to increase those testosterone levels. Is that right? It's not just a one size fits all?
Sure. Yeah. People take different dosages. People take the medication in different ways, like creams or patches or mm-hmm. injections, and then there's pellets too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different ways to treat it, and every way is a little bit different. But there are some side effects, and it's important to know. It's important to go somewhere where the providers understand the side effects and how to treat them.
Right.
And so I want to talk a little bit about some of these things, which of course it's this, you hear these commercials on TV all the time. It's like, it sounds so scary.
Right.
But it's just one of those things, like develop the prostate cancer, developing the blood clots or heart attacks, high blood pressure, causing tissue edema, change in lipids, testicular atrophy, infertility issues, developing breast tissue, head hair loss, causing permanent hair growth on one's face, chest, buttocks, or other areas of the body, and developing psychological changes such as increased anger or aggressive behavior. And that's why it's really important to know that it's the right thing it's the right treatment for you, and that
right.
you're getting it treated in the right way.
I think there are a lot of people who would think, wow, I can't believe he just read off that long list, but you really wanted to. He went and got his phone specifically to read off that list of potential side effects, because you want people to know that you take it seriously.
Yeah.
And so you want them to feel free to ask you any questions they may have to make sure it is the right thing for them.
Of course, and the truth is we don't see a lot of this, right?
Right.
Like that stuff's like worst case scenario, and really it's these kids in the gym doing testosterone. That's
sure.
who's going to end up with a lot of stuff, and
sure.
and that's part of the problem these days is the prevalence of like testosterone that's being treated incorrectly or not under the supervision of a doctor or not getting the blood draws. I just saw a 23-year-old kid come in the other day and he was like, I'm getting testosterone online. And I was like, oh, okay, why are you here? He's like, well, they didn't do any blood work or anything. I was like, you're kidding me. Like, oh my gosh, and he's 23. Like, it's probably not a good idea to give a 23-year-old testosterone unless they have, they have to go through a really rigid process to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
So the oversight is very important.
It's massive. It's massive.
In terms of coming to you, you are kind of concierge, so it's not an insurance accepted thing. People can apply it to their own insurance companies
Sure.
if they wish. But can they get in to see you pretty quickly?
Yeah, we try. I mean, we book up quick, but yeah, same day, next day, we try. We will, if you want to come in today, we're going to try to book you for sure.
Okay.
And if we can squeeze you in, we definitely will.
Okay, so you don't have to live with that low energy or the head fog or any of the other problems that perhaps you've been living with thinking, gee, I guess I've just gotten old. There's no such thing, says Evan Bass. So here's the phone number, 402-9720 is the phone number. Online, it's ChattanoogaMen'sClinic.com. When you go on that website, you'll be able to see more of what they offer and testimonials to back it up. Thank you, Evan.
Thanks so much.